Here's another question using probabilities and conditional probabilities. In a group of 200 students, 40 of them take English, 50 of them take math, 12 are taking both. So notice these three numbers don't add up to anywhere near 200. So that means that what? The remaining students in the group are not taking English. They're not taking math. So let's draw the Venn diagram, and once we have the Venn diagram drawn, all of these questions should be very easy, very simple to answer. And let's note first, what is the size of my sample space? The total number of possibilities, 200. And I guess I should have said, we're going to select a student at random. So the total number in the sample space is 200. And I will call capital E the set of the students that are taking English. So N of E is equal to 40. 50 are taking math. We'll call capital M the set, the event, or the set of the math students. And that's going to be equal to 50. And then here's the thing that makes it all work out for us is that the number of elements in what is equal to 12. 12 students are taking both English and math. E intersect M. The set of students who are in both of those sets, taking English and math. So now we'll draw. Let's see, we're going to draw the M and E circles overlapping. And I'll do it in the same order. I'll put E on the left and M on the right, although it doesn't matter. So I'm going to make a note for my Venn diagram. The number of elements in the sample space is 200. So when I'm done with it, in the four regions, in this region, in this kind of Pac-Man looking region, is going to be a number. The football region is going to have a number. This other Pac-Man region looking region is going to have a number. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers, and they're going to add up to 200. So note that there are 40 in the set E. So this is not part of the Venn diagram, but I always like to write a little cheat note in there to remind myself that the E circle, which is going to be this number plus this number, has to add up to 40. The M circle, math, has to add up to 50, so I'll just make a little note in there in parentheses. And now, let's start with the innermost region, the overlapped region, the intersection. It is just this football region. That's where I'm going to put 12. There are 12 people in that football region. Now that I know that there are 12 in this, what number goes here? The circle has to add up to 40. I've got 12 here, so I think that would be 28. Now the E circle adds up to that number 40. The M circle has to add up to 50, but it's got 12 in this intersection region already. 12, and so this would make it a 38 out there. So again, this 12 represents the 12 students taking both English and math because they're in both circles. The 38 here are taking math, but they are not taking English. The 28 here taking English are not taking math. So that's our Venn diagram. One more number. We're missing one number that goes out here in the outside region. So notice we're not taking 50 and 40 and 12 because some of these 50 and 40, in fact 12 of them, are taking both of those. So we really only have 28, this circle is 40, 40 and 38 is 78. So we have 78 already in the diagram. And I need 200 total. Oops. 200 minus 78 is going to give us 122. So out here, we get 122. Now, all four regions add up to exactly 200. Now that we've got that, this should be very simple to answer all these questions. A student is selected at random. What is the probability that the student is taking English? Well, you could say we're choosing one student at random. So the probability of E is the number of elements in E over the number of elements in the sample space. That's it. That's the definition of probability. How many E students are there? English is 40. And how many total? 200. So out of the 200 students, if you randomly select them, there are 40 English students. So the probability that you choose an English student is 40 over 200. All right, so B, what is the probability? Oh, a student is selected at random from those taking math. What's the probability that the student is taking English? So one way of writing this out, you can really get the answer very simply from looking at the diagram, but I'm going to use the formula just to show that it works. Sometimes you need to use the formula. The probability that the student is taking English given he's taking math. Okay, so what's the probability we choose a person from the English group given that that person we chose is taking math? That's equal to the number of elements in E intersect M over the number of elements in M. That's just the definition of E, probability of E given M. This is just the formula. All right, so how many elements are in E intersect M? That's the football shape. That's 12. How many elements are in the circle M? 50. 50. That's the probability. And if you think about it, if you're given that the person chosen was in the math group, that means it's in this circle. How many of them in this circle out of 50, how many of them are taking English? Not the 38, but these 12 are. So it's 12 over the number in the whole circle, which is 50. All right, C. The student is selected random from those taking English. So that means we're given that information that the person is taking English. What's the probability that student is taking math? That's the probability of M, the probability the student takes math, given that the student is taking English. Once again, number of elements in M intersect E over the number of elements in E. Remember, the denominator is always the right-hand side when the given E. Up here it was given M, so it's the number of elements in M. Well, the numerator is the same as this numerator. E intersect M is the same as M intersect E. So we get 12 over. Let's see, how many are in E? The circle E would be 40. Done. Okay? So basically that says that if you're selecting from those who take English, you're selecting from one of these 40. What's the probability that the randomly selected person is taking math? Well, there are 12 of these 40 taking math. All right, we got a couple more to go. See if we can, here's D. D, a student is selected at random from those taking English. So that means it's going to be one of these people. What's the probability that the student is not taking math? So the probability, what are we looking for? The probability that the student is not taking math. We want to know the probability of M complement, the probability the person is not in the set of those taking math, given the student is taking English. Well, just use the formula, the probability of M complement intersect E over the probability of E. I'm sorry, the number of elements. Again, that would work without putting a P there, but much easier just to count the numbers. So that's a small n and that's a small n. All right, we have the denominator is the number of elements in E, which is 40. How many elements are there in M complement intersect E? So you're not in M, but you are in E. I like turning it the other way around. I'd say you're in E and not M. You're in E and not M. So that means you're this 28 right here. You're in the circle E, but you're not in the circle M. So there's 28. And that's it. And we got one more. Part E. All right. A student is selected at random from those taking math. What is the probability that the student is not taking English? So the probability we're looking for is that the student does not take English, so E complement, given that he was selected or she was selected from those taking math. So it's going to look similar to the above. The number of elements in E complement intersect M. Let's see, did I do that right? Was it probably not taking English given M? Yes. So it's the number of elements in the intersection of those two sets over the number of elements in the given set, the given M. So number of elements in M. All right, so this time we're in the M circle and not in the E circle. So you're in the M circle, but you're not in the E circle. There's 38 members in that set. 38 over the number of elements in the M circle is 50. And that's it. So, given that you're selecting from those taken math, means you're selecting someone from this circle, and the probability you're not taking English would be, well, these 12 are taking English, these 38 are not. So it'd be 38 over the number in the entire circle, which is 50. 38 over 50, which is what we got.